Thanks to the rise of online tabloids and social media, a celebrity's every move is scrutinized more than ever before. And when controversy equals valuable clicks, it doesn't take much for a star to find themselves with an army of haters. It's sometimes easy to forget that celebs are only human and nobody's perfect. When you look at the bigger picture, some of Hollywood's most hated stars are actually decent people trying to do some good in the world while navigating the pitfalls of success. Amy Schumer. By late 2015, Amy Schumer had an overexposure problem. Thanks to her hit movie Trainwreck and her viral sensation sketch comedy show Inside Amy Schumer, the stand-up comedian was everywhere. We saw her gracing magazine covers, trending online, and walking the red carpets, where she famously once pretended to fall in front of Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. However, Schumer ran into some problems when she parodied Beyoncé's Formation video in late 2016. The comedian was accused of cultural appropriation and making light of police brutality. It didn't help that Schumer's initial response to the controversy was to post a nude photo to Instagram, reveling in the backlash. She later apologized on Medium, saying that her intentions weren't to parody the video, but to join in celebrating women. And it's worth noting that her video was first posted on Jay-Z's Tidal, which means it probably got Queen Bee's approval before anyone else saw it. At the end of the day, Schumer is a comedian, and sometimes jokes don't land. It's clear from the majority of her material and public stances that she's dedicated to empowering women, ending gun violence, promoting animal rights, and denouncing racism. Some of those topics can be extremely polarizing in America, but that hasn't stopped Schumer from tackling them head-on. Anne Hathaway. Considering how inoffensive she tends to be, it's odd that Anne Hathaway gets so much hate for essentially being good at her job.
Why does everybody hate Anne Hathaway?
After she single-handedly ran the Oscar stage after being all but abandoned by James Franco, he and Howard Stern took a stab at why she's so disliked by the so-called Hatha-haters.
She comes off like the goody two-shoe actress, and it's just like fun to sort of hate her.
I think maybe that's why what triggers it.
In other words, Hathaway is a thoughtful and insightful actress whose only crime is being too eager and earnest, which are not negative qualities. What people don't often recognize about her is that Hathaway is a strident champion of charitable causes and keeps her nose clean in an industry that is plagued with problem people. Simon Cowell. During the heyday of American Idol, there was one judge to fear more than any other, Simon Cowell. With his acerbic tongue and brutal honesty, Cowell quickly earned a reputation for his scathing takedowns of aspiring singers.
If I were you, I'd phone up the War Department, volunteer your services, because you've just invented a new form of torture.
In his defense, he did give would-be pop stars a taste of how hard it is to make it in the music industry. It was a cold, hard truth, and Cowell wasn't afraid to deliver it. Nowadays, however, he admits that parenthood has softened him up a bit, and a lot of his infamous demeanor telling people, "There's no question when you actually have a kid. It does make you feel different because you understand how you would feel if it was your son up there. I think X Factor and Idol were edited so that I was always seen as this bad-tempered, miserable whatever. Which of course I am at times, but I'm not like that the whole day." Cowell also won't hesitate to help when tragedy strikes. After the Grenfell Tower fire in London left 80 dead and hundreds without homes, he donated £100,000 and organized a charity single featuring more than 50 artists. He told The Guardian, "In all the years of doing this, I have never felt so emotional. It was unbelievably powerful and sincere." Kristen Stewart. After she became the leading female face of the Twilight movies, Kristen Stewart went from an indie darling to a full-fledged global celebrity almost overnight. But not all the attention was positive. By 2013, Stewart was considered one of the most hated people in Hollywood, primarily because people thought she was putting on her cavalier composure around the crowds. In reality, though, she cares quite a lot about what people think of her.
I'm somebody who's kind of a control freak. I'm like obsessively, like, I want to be self-aware. I don't want to walk into a room and ever think that there's something that these people know or think and I don't know it.
But the fact that she'd also stepped out on her heartthrob boyfriend Robert Pattinson with her married Snow White and the Huntsman director Rupert Sanders did nothing to boost her reputation. To her credit, Stewart is still very passionate about respectable causes. Not only has she always been an animal rights advocate, but she's also lent her star power to help the homeless and victims of sexual abuse. The intensely private star even came out as bisexual as a showing of solidarity with the LGBTQ community, despite keeping all the details of her previous relationships with men under strict lock and key. Adam Sandler. It's no secret that most of Adam Sandler's movies probably aren't going to win an Oscar. But while the quality of Sandler's films have become a punchline, his movies on Netflix do still draw quite a crowd, despite critical condemnation.
Look at this cockamamie crap.
Behind all the goofy shtick is a down-to-earth guy who doesn't abuse his fame. Not only is he intensely loyal to his co-stars, but he's also very charitable. Among his notable efforts to better the world, he once donated $1 million to the Boys and Girls Club in his hometown, took time to wear a t-shirt drawn by an autistic boy in Philadelphia to help spread awareness, and he regularly helps make the holidays better for those in need. On top of that, he seems to be one of the few celebs who is genuinely a good person. As a movie theater worker once recalled to Gawker, people whose talent I respected all turned out to be assholes, while Adam Sandler Adam Sandler was the nicest gem of a person. There was a little girl tantruming because we didn't sell cheese popcorn, and he got down on the floor, played with her, made her laugh, charmed her overwhelmed grandmother, and diffused the whole situation. Thanks for watching. Click the Nicki Swift icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.